How y'all doing? It's Silvertooth here for another video. I'm very sick. I got bronchitis, runny nose. I can't sleep at night. I've been through like 5 rolls of toilet paper. Hopefully I don't cough and sneeze and all that. My eyes water, my nose run during this video. You're seeing me at my worst. This is Silvertooth at his worst. So I'm not allowed to do a live AMA because this channel doesn't allow it because it doesn't have enough views because it's my backup channel or whatever. So we're just going to talk here. Someone can timestamp the crypto parts, right? Later on. And first I want to talk about belief systems because belief systems are regional. They are taught just like racism is taught by your family. So if you grew up here in the United States, pretty much you're probably maybe grew up in a Christian home. And if you were born into a body in the Asian, you'd probably be grown up in a Buddhist home, right? That's what I told my mom. I'm like, religion is just regional. It's regional religion. It depends on where you're born. That's your whole belief system. So they have all kinds of gods over there that I don't fear because I don't know about because there's thousands of religions. So I'm not sure what to make of it, honestly. You know what I mean? And the same thing goes for politics. We talk about Republicans and Democrats here in the United States. They don't talk about that if you're in Asia or Russia or anything. They talk about their government. So if you're talking to people here, you're going to be dealing with people in that arena. Now, if you go to the store and you see someone who's from Asia, you're not going to stop them and say, hey, are you a Republican or a Democrat? Because they're probably a tourist and they probably don't know your belief systems and are not a threat to your belief systems. So they get to enjoy that place, that country, without having to follow by the guidelines that you normally have for someone else that you meet, right? So that's kind of cool. That's the cool thing about travel. If I travel to Malaysia, they wouldn't be like, all right, are you this? Are you that? What do you think of the government? What do you think of religion? Because they would just see me as a tourist, and that's the awesomeness of being traveled. Not only does it totally break racism and stereotypes and things like that, and expand your mind, it also allows you to be under the radar of all that drama, which is awesome, which is cool, right? So I like to travel. I traveled a lot as a kid in my 20s, and I would like to get back to that, right? That's the goal here. So you go through like 4 phases in life. You go through the phase of being a child to getting released in the world and being an adult and being on your own and being able to make your own decision. And it's a massive change. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to do, and you come up with your own clique, your own separate family of friends, right? Those are your backbone of people. And then after you get tired of that and you want to go on to the next phase of your life, you find a partner because you realize that bros before hoes doesn't work because all your bros are getting married and having family and they stopped hanging out with you, and you're unable to go to that next phase until you go to that next phase. So that's pretty hard. That's pretty hard to be able to go to that next phase. And then when you get to the family phase, you give it all up. You're basically what they would call sacrifice from that, right? You have no free will. You do things for the unit, for the group. Hopefully for the better. You'll make mistakes because you're a human, but hopefully for the better you'll do good things. And then that phase ends, and then there's the what's next. Now for all those people that aren't married, haven't had a family and stuff, it's a lot different than you think. You're like, oh, I'm gonna have a wife and stuff like that, and no, you've transformed into a new unit of your life, and you have to think about birthdays, Christmas, school events, stuff like that, and your relationship that you started to begin with goes to the wayside. Just like Richard Hart said, relationships usually last 8 years, right? That's enough time to breed a child, raise the child till it's 7 or so, and it's able to take care of itself, and then you move on to the next phase. Um, but a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't. My parents were married 50 years, and my grandparents were married 50 years, and I always assumed that I was going to be married for 50 years as well, right? So um, there's that giving up, right? So you're not allowed to do things like, and when you get that empty nest phase, I'm going to try to keep going. I'm just going to go through this. When you get that empty nest phase, you don't know what to do, because now you're with someone who's been basically a family unit, and there's no longer a family as the central part of the unit. Now it's just you and a woman, and you're either in love and you stay together, or you move on because of differences. And marriage is not like anyone thinks it is. You're gonna probably have sex once every 6 months, maybe, if you're lucky, because you're gonna be tired. You can't do things with the child in the house, etc. Maybe there's an off day, and then they're like, "Well, I'm tired, and we'll schedule it for later," and it gets put to the wayside because there's more important things. Your mind is on the family unit and making that thrive and survive. So you really have to do a readjustment in your life. It's the next chapter. It's exactly like you're 18 again and moving out on your own, because now you have these newfound freedoms and you don't know what to do with them. It is very weird being able to pee with the door open. It's very weird being able to walk around in my underwear and scratch my butt, right? It's very weird to be able to just have sex anywhere, anytime. Very weird. But so it's a learning process, right? And some people make it and some people don't. And I'm damn sure trying to make it, because I love my wife. We've been friends for about 20 years, and we've been married or together in a relationship for at least 10 years, right? So you have to rekindle what brought you together in the beginning, that passion and stuff like that. And that's what I was trying to do, right? I've got newfound freedom. I'm like a teenager with a loaded gun, right? We're able to screw things up, and we're able to learn and stuff like that. And with all this that I posted, I just kind of wanted to give my wife a moral boost, to be like, it's all right to be yourself. You're beautiful to me. Other people will think you're beautiful too. And I thought a lot of people would like that. And I thought it'd also be cool to have us together forever on the blockchain. So that would be cool to be immortalized like that. That's an awesome thing, honestly, because long after you're gone, you will still be on the blockchain. That's awesome. So, am I on drugs? No, not at all. I don't do meth. No way. I don't do acid. I don't do coke, and none. I don't do nothing. I was a family man for a decade, right? I didn't even allow pot in the house up until recently, and that was only because we have like 5 dispensaries here, and my wife just had knee surgery, and she was recovering from it, and she wanted something for the pain. So I went and got her basically a variety of stuff and said, which one will help you out? Try it out and see which one will do good for you. Yeah, it's a total change, and I haven't smoked weed in weeks, and I didn't want to smoke around my kid or get him into that or anything like that. So, yeah, it's one of the things that I gave up completely. So I don't know where I'm really going with this. I'm not restarting this video. Fuck it, we're rolling, right? So it's a weird change, and everyone takes it as a midlife crisis, right? Anything's a midlife crisis in your 40s. Someone gets a new hairdo, and oh my, they're going through a midlife crisis. They blame it on that. But you really need to go on to the next step and know where you're going and be on the same page. And it's amazing that I've been married for a decade, and I didn't even know my wife's kinks, right? And she didn't know mine, right? Because we were all focused on family, right? That was the thing. Mom, dad, cousins, uncles, relatives, family, all together in a bonded unit. But then you become your own person, and you've got to rediscover yourself later in life, just like 18-year-old has to discover themselves. So it's a real strange event, and we tried to have kids because I didn't want to go through this phase yet, right? I was really enjoying being a dad, and it was awesome to treat my kid like a princess and buy her everything and take her to places and be able to do shit that I never was able to do when I was a kid, or I didn't have taken for me. I mean, my parents didn't ever spend 2 grand on me on Christmas, or take me on trips and do what I want and let me plan vacations. Like, I'd let her plan vacations to go to anime events and stuff like that, and that would take away. Like, me and my wife couldn't go on cruises and stuff because we just did things like that, because I wanted to be the best dad that I could be. And I'm not. I'm human. I'm human. And once you realize the facade is gone, you're like, what next? What's the next step? Where are we going? What are we doing? And I really enjoyed travel when I was younger. There's my wife coughing. Okay? So I thought, man, we'll go on to travel and things like that and rediscover our love for each other and just share and enjoy our life. So that's kind of the plan as of now. I don't know if I said this, but I'm sick, so my wife had her tubes clamped 17 years ago. The clamps fell off. We thought we might be having another kid, and that kind of what sparked the whole. We need to rediscover our sexual thing. People don't need to be married together and not having sex for long periods of times. It's fun. It's enjoyable. You like to connect with your partner, right? That's why you got together. And sometimes that creates a child, and sometimes it doesn't. But you have to have that spark to go on. So we're working on that. No drugs. No drugs. So I ban people who say stuff like accusations like methamphetamines and stuff like that. You're on meth? No, no, no. Never, never. I'm not trying to be whacked out of my mind. I'm a pretty rational, intelligent being, right? So, but Twitter is what it is, right? There's a lot of immaturity there, a lot of immaturity. So, people, social media screwed us over. When I was a kid, we didn't have social media. There was no, you had to walk to the corded phone and call someone. So, there was no calling anyone on cell phones. There were no cell phones. And if you meet somewhere, you better be there. The other person's going to be standing there, But with social media, we've got so to the point where we don't even connect as a human, and we're like a random number that we get irrational and act really immature, really immature. So social media is definitely a hard place to meet people. Because you need to really meet them in person and have a one-to-one conversation and see who they are and what they're about. And that's the human connection, not social media. Social media is bunk. But it's a hard change, right? It's a very hard change. And you don't know who you want to be, what you want to do. And yeah, it's been screwing with me a lot, right? So next phase of life, right? So hopefully we beat the odds, we make it, we go on, and we get to enjoy that second half. Hopefully. We don't know, right? You're never promised anything. Expect at any point in time for life to take everything away from you but the clothes on your back. Expect it. Expect it, because it's going to happen. So don't hold true to anything, because everything is impermanent. Everything changes, and you just never know, right? One minute you're living there, and the next minute you may be kicked out of the house. I wasn't. My wife loves me very much, but you don't know. You don't know. So you really got to focus on going back to being you as a human being, and that's really hard to do, to know what you really want. uh, I traveled a lot when I was younger. I said this, and I went to a lot of raves and Grateful Dead shows. I followed the Dead around. One day you'd be in Red Rock, the other day you'd be, you just travel the U.S. It was great. You could go from show to show, see all new people, and I really like that. That's why, my goal is to save up like 10 grand, and that would get me a year probably in Thailand. Like, because I'm kind of researching it, and I really want to go to Thailand. I don't know why I'm drawn there, but something is drawing me to Thailand, and it's not going away. It's been there for years. And I just need to, like, not fight the universe and go with it, right? Because there's a reason that's going to be a next step to my life, and I don't know why. But through my research, it's very easy to live on $600 a month there, hostels to stay in if you're traveling from province to province can be as low as $13. Meals can be as low as $1.50 per meal. They go by baht there, so I think 35 baht is, if I'm not mistaken, 35 baht is $1. So if you're getting something that's 350 baht, that's $10. So if you're getting a hotel that's 400 or 500 baht, that's going to be like $13, right? So it's very doable, and I don't know where I'm going after that. I don't. Everything's, you just go with the flow, right? That's what you got to do, is go with the universe. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not on drugs. I'm not whacked out. There's no OnlyFans page. I'm not going through any of that. I just thought it would be a nice boost to my wife's morale, to become a human again and not a parent, and I thought that'd be awesome. So, and I'm not ashamed. I've got no shame. I can walk down the street naked. I don't care. I'm a man. But I wanted her to feel loved still and beautiful in my eyes. I thought that was pretty important to me. So, we'll see. All right. Now that we're 17 minutes in, let's get to a little bit of crypto. What's my plan? Well, I don't know. I'm not a crystal ball reader. I'm not going to give you financial advice. Everyone says that. They're like, I'm going to tell you what's going on, but I'm not financial advice. And they're always wrong, and I don't know. I don't know. Because you can't predict the unexpected. And the unexpected always happens. We couldn't predict COVID was going to happen, and it sure did. And imagine you were in COVID era, and you went into a coma, and you woke up now. And you're like, all right, we need to wear masks. We need to, you would still be in that time frame, in that mindset. It would kind of change you a little bit. So I don't know where crypto's going, right? I don't. I'll give you my personal thoughts and views on it, but they're probably wrong, and they're based off just my opinion and no facts. So they're basically bullshit. I don't trust crypto. I'll say that right now. I've told many people I think that this is the last cycle and it's over. And you're like, no, crypto's not going away. Well, I don't know. Because I don't know who made crypto. I don't know if it can be hacked or broken, or it was meant to be hacked or broken, or it was meant to draw money in to extract money from people, or if it's just a phase like the dot-com bubble. I don't know. I don't know. But I do know it's the best place right now if we have another bull run to make money. So I want a little bit in crypto, and I don't know which one. Really? That's crazy. You're a Hexagon. Well, the thing is, I had my facts and opinions back in 2017, and something just magically, the universe brought it into my eye, and I caught it, right? And I'm like, wow. And that was, I'll talk about it, it was Pillar, right? It was basically your own blockchain for yourself with all your personal identity, and then you were able to have your own wallet that would connect to your doctors, and you could say who could be a part of your life and who couldn't be a part of your life. It would be a whole record of your life that only you had the private keys to, and that was pretty awesome. So that immediately drew my attention, and I did pretty good on that. I was telling people to buy it at 5 cents, and it went up to $1.60. So people did a lot of good. My my problem with that is I was always waiting it out, right? It's going to go up more, it's going to do better. I need to hold this for the long term, and it's a dumb move. If you make any money in crypto, take it and run. Take it and run. So, I went up to 116,000 and then back down to 3,000. My initial investment, right? So, the first 2017 bull run was a bust for me. It was a break even almost, right? And then the next bull run, there was another mini one in between, which I think we're in now. But the next bull run, Hex, right? I got Hex for a fraction of a cent, right? Fraction of a cent. I was stacking it, doing videos, telling people about it because I liked that it was what it was. It was time locked deposits on the blockchain. It was basically like getting a CD, certificate of deposit, on the blockchain. And both of those things drew me in because they were innovative, right? It was new. But what happens is once that gets flooded out, and everyone's doing time lock on there, it becomes a nothing burger, just like NFTs. NFTs were great until everyone and their brother was making an NFT, and then the value just declined, right? So you have to be first in the market, you have to have an innovative idea, and you have to take profits and get the fuck out, right? So I don't know. I don't want to call it because I don't know. Now I'm real keen on layer one pulse chain because its ability. It's never done a run before. It's below SAC price. That you could probably make some money off that, but I don't know. Like in the future, something new may come out that I'm like, holy shit, that's the one, right? This is new. This is fresh. There's no copies, and we're on the uptrend right now. And by the way, it's a generic Diet Cola. Right? So I don't know. I'm not going to stake my thing to anything. Because you go on crypto Twitter and people are just what they're about. That's it. What they own, right? If I own crypto XYZ, I'm going to hashtag it. I'm going to talk the shit out of it. I'm going to want you to buy it so I can get rich. That's what crypto is. So I really don't even want to do any hashtags at all on my crypto anymore on Twitter, right? No thanks. Until I find something that I'm like, holy shit, this is the next one. So I had real winner with Hex, millionaire. Millionaire back to nothing. Haha, you're an idiot, but things go in cycles, right? So hopefully this next cycle will be good. And this cycle seems to appear in 2025, not 2024. So I'm thinking somewhere between the lines of 2024 and 2025, we're going to have the Black Swan event that brings it down. Its last initial drop before the rise, which means that you can probably get it at a cheaper price, which is why I'm not in crypto right now, right? I don't want to be holding USDC. I don't want to be holding DAI. I don't want to be holding any of those. Right now, I just have my money in two things. I'm not going to show you here, but I have Wealthfront, which does a 4.5% interest, just a high yield savings account on the web. Basically, that's FDIC insured. You're like, oh no, you don't. I'm gonna hear it all. You don't. The banks are going under, man. The banks are, the Feds do. I know all this, right? But we're gonna get our money and get out before that happens. It's not gonna happen overnight. I guarantee you. And the other one is Yada. And I've said this before, I'm not going to give a referral link. I don't give a shit about that. But the Yada averages 6 to 8% return. And what that is for every $100 you put in, you get 4, and that's YOTTA for anyone that cares. You get 4 tickets for every $100. So if you have $1,000 in there, you got 40 tickets, and those are lotto tickets, and they have drawings daily. So every day, let's say you have $1,000 in there, you got 40 chances to win the lotto, and you're like, well, the odds of that. Well, the odds go up greatly if you have 10,000 tickets, which is why you see all the winners that won 50,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 are all from California. They're probably big players they just threw it in there. And I'm actually, Yada is beating my 4.5% on Wealthfront. But eventually, we'll have that black swan event where the Fed prints, or because they're going to have to, they're going to have to print money. Um, that's what they always do. I don't know if it's going to be before the election or after. It seems a good possibility that they would want to push it before, so it might be an in between the election to the election. Because every party, I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat, because I don't want to be either one. I want to be out of this country. Um, they all want to look good for the next guy. So if there's a Republican in the House, he wants low gas prices, low food prices, and money going to the people so the people are happy and they vote for the next Republican. If a Democrat's in the House, he's going to do the same damn thing. Just to ensure that his party, they're like, you're not going to leave us like that. You got to leave us good, or the other guys are going to get it. Well, who really cares, right? It's all stupid to begin with. But so I think that that's going to happen. I think that, and you're seeing it right now with gas prices down to $2.89 in my area. And by the way, I used to do a little bit of speculating on gas prices, and that was if gas goes below 3, you buy stocks in Chevron, Amron, whatever. I'm not even gonna name them, whatever. And then when it goes up to $5, $6, $7, $8, that's the top signal. They're making profit every day, double what they were at 3. That way the stock's going to go up, and that's when you exit. So that was before crypto, right? You get in when gas prices are low, and you get in after they've quoted the price for the last quarter when it's high. You make some money, right? That was before crypto thing, but I don't know where crypto's going. I don't. It could all be a government plot to steal all your money, right? Suddenly you realize that every wallet can be hacked, that they had the keys to begin with, the way to get in there. You don't know. Do you read code? Do you write code? Can you decipher code? Where'd it come from? Why is it anonymous, right? Going with Bitcoin, why, right? And Bitcoin, like it or not, boys, ETH, whatever, Bitcoin reflects it all. If Bitcoin goes from 30,000 down to 10,000, everything's getting dragged down with it, which is why when Bitcoin did it broke the parabola on the way down and everything retracted, alts are going to retract harder. You know that too. So I'm thinking that if there's a time where we actually do get that 11K in prey Bitcoin, it's going to be short-lived, temporary, a week. It might go from 20K down to 11K, and then the next week it's back up to 17K, and then the next week it's 20K and 30K up, and that's the start of the bull run. That's the cleansing of the palate, so to speak. We don't know. We don't know. I know that I want to hold a small bag long term in case the monetary supply collapses or whatever, but really, you can't live in worry, man. You can't. Fear controls us all. It's a great manipulator, right? Oh, we better have silver and we better have crypto, or if we don't, guess what? We'll be the ones starving. But it really doesn't happen like that. And if it did happen like that, I would feel a lot safer in a third world country than America, where everyone has 3 guns per human, and people are all whacked out, and there's Karens all over, and everyone's freaking on prescription medications and things like that, And when they go off of them, there's not a far place to fall, but yet you don't want to go live in the jungle and avoid humans for 30 years and find out that everything was fine, But there's a lot of factors at play here, We are at the life cycle end of the dollar. It's pretty bad, but they can't let it go down until they have a replacement. And I don't think that Bitcoin's the replacement. And you don't want Bitcoin to be the replacement. They'll have the Fed dollar or whatever that they're working on. But the reason you don't want it is because the government can stop wallets and confiscate it. Unconfiscatable. Bullshit. Bullshit. Tell all the people that got their wallets hacked or their wallets freezed or their wallets dusted so they can follow it, or you know what I mean? It'll come down to that point in the future. It'll take a long time to do it, but it'll come down to that point where the blockchain is just that. It's a chain of your information, and if they don't like you, they can shut you off. Conspiracy theories, right? I don't know. I don't know. I just basically I don't want to guarantee crypto is the next thing and it's going around because I don't know. I don't know. So I don't want to blow smoke up your ass. Make money now. Make money now. Get into the new things. Get rugged on a bunch of them if you want, and then wait for something new. So we're kind of in a holding pattern here. And I'm saying a lot of stuff people don't like. You know, they're like, I realize that. I'm 30 minutes into this video. I ain't fucking redoing it. You're just gonna eat it. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I'd like to get back to that point where I'm enough to do some traveling and find out what the next phase of my life is, right? You know, if I had 100 grand 6 months ago, I would have bought a house for my family because you can get cheap here, cheap where I live. I would have bought a house for my family and settled down. But now that my life has gone back to being just me, shit, I just want to travel and find out where, because I might not want to live here. And I might not want to live in Malaysia, and I might not want to live in Thailand, which is what I was talking about earlier. I probably said Malaysia. Or I might not, you know, travel. Travel until you find somewhere that you feel is the next phase of your life. And that's where you settle down. So that's the next phase. I don't know. It'd be cool. Thailand's great. I've got a lot of friends in Malaysia too. I've got a couple thousand friends in Malaysia on my Facebook page. But who knows? I may end up in Vietnam. That would be awesome. I may end up in Europe. That would be awesome to check out, but a little bit pricey to stay long term. I don't know. I just know that I don't want to be here, right? I know what here offers. I've had here many times. It's time for something new. So that's it. Holding pattern right now, waiting for a crash. And I don't think it's going to go up from 24 to 25 because bull runs last 6 months, buddy. So that means the bull run would end in the middle of 2024, and 25 it would crash. And then it would go down. And then, you know, so I don't know though. This is all just my speculation. I've got hex stakes, of course, 15 years, waiting on those. I think I'm 4 years into those now, something like that. And I have a little bit of pulse chain, and that's about it. Maybe some different coins here and there and stuff like that. I don't know. I think that, and I've been a part of Litecoin family for a long time. I talk to those guys daily. I hang out with them. Those are like the only crypto event I go to. I think Litecoin's going to have its day, just like Bitcoin Cash had its day. And Bitcoin Cash topped out at like, what, 2,500, something like that, back in the day. And I think Litecoin's going to do that because it's a direct copy of Bitcoin. So I'd like to hold a little bit of that too, maybe for the future. But I'm more generated on profits right now, getting some profits, because a little goes a long way. Some of you that are watching me, I know, are millionaires. I know, because people have come on here many times and said, dude, those videos you did back in 2017, I became a millionaire off of them. Those videos you did in 2018, 2019, and so on, it got me rich. There's a lot. That's what draws me to crypto, though, is it's not just the money. There's so many smart motherfuckers in here. I love it. And that's why I can't leave crypto Twitter, even though it's a cesspool of rebranding and idiots and rug pulls and everything, there's also, I'm drawn to smart people. I like to be around people that are of high IQ, high intelligence, and see beyond the normal day to day. That's pretty awesome. They can talk to you deeper, um, and maybe don't have those hang-ups of I was born here and I was told to do this and I'm gonna follow this and this is my life plan and that's it. All right. Now, as for the last thing I'm gonna say here, hopefully we'll make this a 40-minute video. You have to be bold in life. Most people aren't. Most people aren't. Most men are stupid. We're dumb. We're dumb, dumb, dumb. We get to the point where we're like, all right, we can't cry in front of a woman, and we got to be the tough guy, and we got to do this, and we got to do that, and you know what I mean? You got to be the provider and all that. And that's not what women want, dude. That's not. Okay? There is no show that would mimic your boring ass life that would get followers or views. No movie they could make about you going to work every day and not crying for 20 years that could get people to do it. It's boring. It's uninteresting. People don't like that. People like drama. Why do you think, what is it, Bitboy? Is that his name? I forget. I don't even follow him. Why do you think he has 1 million views? Because he does dumbass shit, right? The more dumbass shit you do, the more followers you have. So basically, the more that you can be out there and break that mold, the better you are. Because I'm not really, what is his name? Is it Andrew Tate? I'm not a fan of his shit, you know, because he's like, you get the girl, this is it. You get the girl and you tell her to cook or clean or get the fuck out. And I go to work and I make the money and you tell her what to eat and she'll be yours. No, dude, you're just creating a bored housewife that's going to leave you in a few years for someone that's fun like me. That's all you're doing, bud. You're just delaying the inevitable by not letting them be themselves, right? So my advice is if you get a woman, make her kink a reality. Make her dreams come true. That's how you're going to keep her. Be a friend. Things like that. They're looking for stability. They're looking, yeah, temporarily, but when your cool, fun buddy comes over and Justin Bieber comes in the picture, guess what? You're gone. You're gone type thing. So you just wasted your whole time and you sat there and you couldn't have feelings or emotions for 20 years and all that shit just to win for a short period of time. Just be yourself. Be yourself and let them be themselves, right? That's my thought on it. I don't know. Maybe I'm full of shit too, but yeah. If you have anything intelligent to say, go ahead and say it. Leave it in the comments. Leave thoughts, opinions, views, or whatever. And I'm just done with rude people. Like, people will say shit to you online that if I was traveling in Europe in a bar, they wouldn't dare say because they would get their head busted open. I just don't get people. They got that mask, that veil on, like they're invincible, but their main goal is to drain people and harm people, and I don't like that. That's why I want to travel. Because everyone you meet when you travel is pretty cool, and you learn a lot of stuff. So I hope that can happen here, and I can make that happen. If I got $1 million last cycle, I would probably be happy with 100,000 this cycle, and that would change my life for the next decade, right? So I'm not aiming for the stars here. I'm just aiming to find my next place in the world. You all have a wonderful day. I hope you take care and realize that I'm not as weird as I seem to be, but at the same time, don't be boring. Don't be boring. I imagine for all of you that are like, I'm going to heaven and stuff, God's going to scold you and say, I gave you this life, and all you did was work, eat, and sleep, and that's it. You're supposed to experience it. You're supposed to enjoy it. You're supposed to go out there and see all the beautiful things and the beautiful people and connect with other humans. That's what you're here to do, bud. And you just blew it. You blew it with your stubbornness, with your macho-ness. Just go out there and live life, man. Enjoy it. You don't know if you get a second round. This might be it. Enjoy. Peace.